Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Lampadati Michelli GT. This thing is only available in GTA Online at Simeon's dealership for another day after this video comes out, so keep that in mind if you do want to buy it. But this car is really cool. I haven't customized this thing for quite a long time, but I'm very excited to be back in the Michelli GT again today. So anyways, let's go ahead and see what we can do to this car. Now I do happen to remember it has quite a bit of customization, more than you would probably expect for a car like this. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the armor. We're going to go all the way up on that. The brakes as well, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Engine, all the way up, of course. Let's do the transmission and the turbo as well, just to make sure that everything is matched up and good to go. Next up, we got the front bumper options here, and this thing has a lot of rally style options. At least in my opinion, they're rally style options. I mean, I don't see how this couldn't be a rally style option, but I think for today's build, I kind of want to go for the body mounted rally lights. At the same time, I don't mind the bumper delete and the large splitter either, but I think the rally lights kind of have a charm to them, so I'm going to go for those. Now for the rear bumper, we can delete that, and we can also add a tow hook. I think for the purpose of this build, I will actually go for that, just because we don't have a front bumper, so I feel like having a rear bumper wouldn't really make much sense. So let's do that. For the chassis, we can have a roll cage, and we can also upgrade it to bucket seats as well. Being that it's a rally car, I guess that I will do that. We might as well. For the exhaust, we have a dual exit exhaust, a straight pipe exhaust. We have a titanium exhaust, titanium tuner exhaust, big bore exhaust, and a side exit exhaust. You know, I don't really ever go for side exits, but I feel like this car, it is kind of appropriate to go for one, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Why not? For the fenders, we can add on some arches to this thing that are just a little bit more, I don't know, insane, I guess is a word that I could use there. Or we can go for the wide arch kit as well, which is really cool. Honestly, I like the wide arch kit. I'm going to go for that. I feel like that looks really clean. It kind of, I don't know, actually at the same time, I don't mind the basic arches either, but I don't know, the wide arch kit is kind of cool. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that. For the grille, we can go for a mesh grille. We can also go for a mesh grille with red, black, blue, or yellow tape on the headlights. I don't think I'm going to go for the headlight tape, but I will go for the mesh grille because I like the look of it. So we'll do that. For the hood, we can go carbon, which is kind of lame. I kind of wish there was a few more options. That seems kind of weak, but whatever, I guess. For the headlights, we will go xenon. For the neon kit, we will put one on to lower the center of gravity ever so slightly. For the livery, we have the 3-color stripe, the Works Racer. I'm going to change the color. Hold up, one sec. Okay, let's go double silver here so we can actually see these liveries properly. Okay, 3-color stripe, not bad looking. We also have the Works Racer. That's kind of a cool livery as well. We have the Heritage Racer, Vintage E-Cola, Helmets Racing, Douche Rally, Stronzo, Gammy Forapundo. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's something not good, maybe. Two-Tone Racer, Lampadati Racing, and back to none. Honestly, for this build, I feel like the Works Racer livery would actually be pretty cool. It goes along the top of the wide arches that we've put on the car, and it makes the front of the car this sort of white color. I wish that we could do this, but with the 3-color stripe as well. I feel like that would be really awesome to do. But I kind of like this because it's not too race car, you know, ish, but at the same time, it kind of is. So I'm going to go for that. I feel like that's kind of cool. For the mudguards, we could go for some. I'm not a fan of mudguards though, so I'm going to leave them off of the car. For the plate, we will go yellow on black. For the respray, I am going to, I feel like obviously a red on this car looks really good. I feel like an orange could be kind of nice too though, or maybe even a yellow, like a dew yellow with this. I feel like dew yellow with this actually is kind of clean. I might just have to go for a dew yellow on this. I have been using dew yellow quite a bit recently, but honestly it's a really good color, especially for older cars. It's a very old looking sort of yellow color, which I do like. Now for the roof, we can go for a sun strip, we can go for lights, we can also go for a luggage rack or a spare tire. Now, unfortunately, adding any of these things to the roof is going to mess with the center of gravity on this car and make it worse. So if I'm going to go for anything, I'm going to go for the lights because they're pretty small, so they won't really affect it too much. But yeah, I feel like those look okay. I don't know, actually. Maybe I should just leave it with nothing, to be real. I don't know, I might just leave it with nothing, honestly. I feel like that's low-key better, so we'll do that. Now, for the spoiler options here, we have quite a few, actually. Now, I have to say, I like I like the lip spoiler the best, I think. It's just the smallest little spoiler that you can get. I feel like it looks clean. It's not bad. We're going to go for that one. For the suspension on this thing, we can lower it quite a lot. Being that it's a rally car, though, I think I'm only going to lower it to street suspension, so we still have a little bit of ground clearance there. I feel like that's going to be kind of in our best interest here. Now, for the wheels, we could go for some off-road wheels, of course. Because it is, you know, a rally car. So maybe the Dune Bashers in chrome. I feel like not a bad look, honestly. I feel like I kind of like that. Bulletproof tires, they're already on there. And the window tint, let's just do like light smoke. I don't want to do anything too crazy, but this is looking pretty good in my opinion. I'm kind of a fan of what we've done here. Let's take it outside. And of course, we have to do a sound test and a review on the car now. So first of all, we need to see how this thing sounds. So let's just pull it ahead here and let's see. Unfortunately, this thing is like extremely basic sounding. It does have kind of a cool like blow off valve noise, but beyond that, it's kind of mid. There's not really much going on there. Now the Lampadati Michelli GT feels really slow to me right now, which is kind of odd because I don't really remember this car feeling that slow. It kind of makes sense for it to be like pretty slow like this. I mean, it is like an older, you know, Italian sort of rally slash race car maybe, and I would assume there's probably like a just a publicly available version of whatever this car is based on in real life as well. So it's not very quick. It's not very quick. However, I guess once you get up to sort of speed, it's a little bit better. It's like a little bit quicker going up this hill. It feels kind of okay. The handling is interesting as well. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm wondering if it would fare better if I lowered the car all the way down to the ground, but I don't really know. What I can tell you is that the rear end definitely wants to like swing out. It feels like, but it's weird because like it doesn't when it's like under load, but then if it jumps up at all, like it just really wants to go. This thing definitely seems like it has like very weird handling characteristics. In fact, it almost reminds me of the Declasse Vamos. If you guys have driven that, it's like, it's just weird to drive. It almost feels like the car's like super light and it's like floating sort of. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting with this car. I'm actually kind of wondering now if they came out in the same DLC, but of course I can't really check because the Vamos isn't in game and available to be purchased anymore, and neither is this. So I can't find out what DLC they came out with while I'm in game here, which does kind of suck. But overall, this thing, it's not like a bad car. It's just, oh god, yeah, the handling is just a bit of a struggle with this one, not gonna lie. Yeah, I like that sort of like, it just doesn't, it's not very like, it's not very like linear handling. Like it's like you turn the wheel, you turn the wheel, you turn the wheel, and like everything's fine. That's not this car. It's like you turn the wheel and the back end like swings out on you. You turn the wheel a little bit more and it swings out on you again. Like it's just not very confidence inspiring is like a good way to put it. At the same time though, sometimes when it goes through the corners, it's totally fine and the back end just drifts out and it's like, it goes around the corner, it does a little slide and like it's totally fine. So it's kind of hit or miss. It's inconsistent is the word I would use with the Michelli GT. It's just inconsistent, which kind of sucks. It's kind of not really what you're looking for, especially with a car like this that's supposed to be like a rally car in GTA and stuff. This thing's going for about 750k this week. I feel like even though that's 40% off of its original price, I feel like it's steep, man. I feel like that is a lot of money for this car. I can't necessarily say that I recommend you guys to pick this thing up, unfortunately. It's just not, it's not consistent enough that it's like worth that price tag. Like for 750k you can get a Zentorno, and that's one of the most consistent cars in the game, and like this thing's 25-30 grand more than a Zentorno. Like that's ridiculous. So I can't say to buy a Michelli GT over a Zentorno. Like just fair and square, like I don't know, it just would not make sense for me to say that. This thing is definitely overpriced for what you're getting. which is a shame because I actually like this car. I like the customization. I like the look of it. If you want just a car for free mode to kind of cruise around in and stuff, like it's not terrible, but still that handling is going to come into play, and it's just not consistent at all. And on top of it all, it's like slow as hell actually. This thing is actually quite slow. So just keep this stuff in mind, guys, before you buy a Michelli GT if you were interested in one. So anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about this car. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike, subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.